Hey guys, we are back. Welcome to the stream part 2 for day 57, and we are going to be carrying on with some of our crafting, plus the possibility, and I might work on that first, of disabling our HUD until we are ready to go. Okay, so I think that's actually what we'll work on first. Right? If anybody wants to see anything else in particular first, then let me know. In the comments, and let's have a look at our pawn. And this might now actually be a little bit of a tidy up session. Okay, because we have got all of this. Right? Which leads on to something else. But what we're going to do is we are going to start a little bit of tidy up. Okay. It's going to go there. That's going to go there. Okay, so that's a bit better. Hi, Strict Shark, how you doing? Hi, Quit Abandoned. Right. So, what we're going to do nothing with that. I'm not keen on this. Right. Let's do some stuff. Not at the moment, but it's probably going to be if we hit a Kickstarter goal. Okay. So, let's see if we can have right. First things first, function. Load EMS and destroy actors. Probably I have got experience with doing that, both of them. So yeah, probably. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Then we're going to do that. Then we're going to grab this. We're going to cut it. Then we're going to paste it. Okay. Whoops. All right, Storm Run. I'll take a look at that later, bud. Did you get the flipbook working for your GIF or GIF or however you want to pronounce it? Right. So there is our first little bit of tidying up, and that's taken that much off. Okay, so our next thing right, what we'll do is we'll basically call this right function we'll call it fade and scene from black. Okay, and that's going to be this here, so we shall cut that, then plug this in here. I'm breaking this up into logical blocks that have a specific purpose on their own of the code, okay? This isn't just a slapdash. Like, for example, this is the thing that actually... Okay, strict that. I'll read it later when I get the chance. Yeah, get a game idea and then go for it. That's my advice. Try and get a basic premise find something that is close to your idea, find out what makes that work, and then try and replicate it, but with your own twist on it, is my advice. Because normally when I'm saying starting out in Unreal Engine or Unity or anything, is to pick a game from your childhood or something that's simple and basically try and replicate it. So it's like anything else. It's easy to work on things that you like rather than things that you don't like. So get something you like. Okay, so we're gradually cutting that down because that was away over here somewhere. Now the other place we need to start chopping it up is here, right? This is like the second part. Okay, which basically does the rest of the stuff. Okay, so we're going to create another function. I'm going to call it draw compass. Okay. And this is the stuff that draws the compass. This is the stuff that draws the compass. So we're going to copy that. And that is going to go to there. We're going to copy this. And paste that. Okay. And now we can basically remove these. We're just trying to simplify this down, okay? Right, and this is the part here we're really interested in. I'm not too sure who your question's to, quite abandoned, if that's to me or Storm or to someone else, don't know. So this one is going to be draw HUD. Right. And it's going to be this. Oh, what do you mean by timeline? I don't understand what you mean by timeline. I think it's if I'm understanding correctly, and I'm guessing, well, it's actually going. Originally, it was supposed to be 15th, 16th century, right? But my level designer and colleague has had a bit of a inspiration, and now it seems to be a bit more like fantasy. So it's not really set in a particular time. Okay. So as I said, we're gradually just tying this down into sections so that we know what's going on. Right. Now, what's this doing? Okay. Alright. Hi, Cyber Shell Rev. Good to see you again. Pronounce it how you like. I'm not going to hold you to it. Yeah, I would go for the second one. But I'm not going to argue either way, put it that way. Right. So, the point of the matter here is we need now a switch. Right? To basically switch on our HUD. Okay. So I'm going to make this a custom event. Custom event. And we're going to say switch on HUD. Okay. our switch on HUD is basically going to say draw HUD. And it's going to say draw compass. Okay. We don't want these to appear. What is your favourite mechanic feature? One that works. Right, so we are actually going to remove these two. Okay. And we might need to do something with our compass, possibly. Okay. But we are going to go, we're going to go into our self-discussion. Right. And we're going to get that. I don't really watch TV or movies. Probably Aliens. T2. Oh, what's it called? What's the one with Gary Oldman and Natalie Portman, where she's the little girl? Leon. We haven't went to Mega Grants yet. It's a possibility, but we're going to branch on that. What I usually do with movies or TV shows or whatever is I don't watch anything for months and months and months, and then I'll basically go and download some stuff that I want to see, and it's not normally a lot, and I'll watch it all in a oneer, and that'll be that. Right, so if this is true, we get a ref char. And switch on HUD. Right. Now, we're going to have to test this. Right, and if we are going to test it, we're going to have to go into our main map to test it. Right. So, we're in the map, so that's quite handy. Right, let's have a look, shall we, guys? While this is loading up, hit the subscribe button. Right, here we go. It's going to take a minute. You guys can watch some nice animation. Oh god, it's going to do the compiling shader crap again. Yeah, but this won't be anywhere near as bad. Right, so the good thing is, our HUD isn't showing. Right? Which is kind of what we want. Right, looking good. Where's our HUD? Where'd our HUD go? Right. Update compass and all that isn't going to work because it hasn't drawn them. Right, so we're not going to sit through all that again. We're just going to give that a 5. Right, so it shows it basically straight away. Disabled player. Right, so that's doesn't make sense now. Okay, so we'll add a breakpoint there. Press play. We'll dismiss this for now. Now I think I know what the problem is. Right, we should start getting our right, let me try something, okay? I want to try something. We're going to load that. Okay, so something is obviously that was maybe because I did switch on HUD. Right. So you can see now the world, right? Or at least a little slice of it. dismiss this for now. Okay. So there's something wrong here. It didn't hit that code for a kickoff, right? Right, disables player. So how come okay. We need to do that. It's actually not going to be here, right? That's in the wrong place completely. Show messages. And this. Grimson, you try and having a go at Unreal Engine. Well, it's a good way to start learning. You know what's not a good way of learning Unreal Engine is not to boot it up. That's not a good way to learn. Right. The concept of the game is you're kind of a Viking in a kind of fantasy world, and you've got to survive the elements and infected. I hate calling them zombies because I'm just going to call them zombies, right? You've got to avoid the zombies, right? And then you've got to shoot wildlife to get food, and you've got to start fires, which means that you've got to find wood. And then you've got to craft things and climb up ladders and shoot stuff and run around and search buildings and that type of thing. Oh god, this shaders are a nightmare. It's going to do this probably for the next day. It'll compile some shaders now and again, and then it'll be fine again. Oh, we've got our switch on HUD, so that gives us our thing. Right, so we should now have that. Okay, so that now works. Which is cool. Well, the point is that you can't use. It's not supposed to be like a melee game, right? So you quickly discover that melee weapons are useless, right? Because basically, if you can't kill it with a bow and arrow, then you're dead. But I don't want to say too much because it might give a bit away to the story, etc., etc. Okay? So, we have got that working now. And it didn't give us any errors, so that's a good thing. So, we can basically switch this back to 55. Right. So now we go back to our crafting system. Yay! Everyone loves a good crafting system. So we're not going to do that. Well, actually, we'll delete that. We're going to delete that. And we're going to show the mouse cursor. Right. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another widget. What's what noise in the background? I'm hoping it's just some music. Yeah, it should be just some music. Yeah, ghosts. Ghosts in the machine. Right. I'm going to call this crafting item. Okay. And we can grab something like this from our inventory, which is this. Right. And we can copy that. Okay. And we go back to our crafting item. We can delete that. Paste that. Okay. That's all good. Okay, what are we doing? Lost my what do we call it? Train of thought. Okay, so we've got our crafting main, but what we're going to have to do now, right, is because certain things are well, all we actually need to do, in fact, I'm talking rubbish once again, but I'm sure you've heard me talking rubbish before. So we've got crafting main, right? And on event construct, we're going to create a function. And it's going to be called fill crafting grid. Okay, now I'm going to add a variable in here to our inputs because my colleague kind of sounded like he wanted like different crafting stations that craft different things, right? So if you go to a stove, let's say you can cook food. If you go to a crafting table, let's say you can make arrows. If you go to a like that's the example, right? But I'm just going to create a type and in actual fact we might need two, because this type is actually going to be an item type. Right? And I'm going to need to find out what the item type is. So we're going to go to our interactable items. And here. And here. Right, it's this item type here, so we need to look at the struct, which is here. Enum interactable type, okay? Okay, so where was I? Well, that's not it. And that's not it. Where the heck is it? This is it. Right. Enum interactable type. Okay. So what we're going to do, this is going to, that by the way guys, is for the sorting, okay? So the next thing we're going to do, get all, no we're not, data, table, row names, right? Now we know that this is going to be recipes, right? Then we're going to do for each. Right, and that is going to be get data table row, and the fact of the matter here is we're going to have to get the item type, okay, but that's fine. So we're going to say recipe, and in fact, yeah, we're going to get recipes, right? And then we're going to break that. Then we're going to do this again, except it's not, it's going to be interactable items main, right? And this is going to give us the item type. Okay. So we basically say equals, and that's the only thing we're going to use from here. So we close that. And read root node. And that is going to go to there. Okay. Game jam. Game jam, you say? Don't talk to me about game jams. Branch that. Personally, your mileage may vary, but I don't see them as, it depends what you want, right? If you just want to network with people, then fine, do a game jam, right? If you want to make a game, then make a game. That's my rather controversial thoughts on the matter. I found that those are, I mean, if you're putting a team together to do a game jam, then why not just put the team together to make a game? I'm not offended. Why would I be offended? Basically, people blocked me for having basically the same opinion as Shell just said. They're a waste of time if you already know how to make a game. Why would you need a game jam to make you make a game? Just go and make the game, right? I mean, I've heard, as I said, one of it was Like, there was people going, oh, we've got an 8-person team together to do a game jam. What? What are you doing? Why not put an 8-person team together to make a game? But as I said, if it's for networking, meeting people and stuff like that, then, you know, fair enough. Not going to hold it against you if you do a game jam. Just not my cup of tea. Right, I'm going to go and grab a break for 2 minutes, guys. So if you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Check out the description for links to my Discord and to my personal Discord and Patreon, and finally to my previous game, which is on Steam and only costs $1. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, we're back. Yeah, quite abandoned. That's my game on Steam, my previous one. Um, yeah, what was I saying again? I was going to say something I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I can't believe it. I'm the only guy that can have 12 people watching live and still go down in subscribers. Incredible. Anyway. Right, so what we need to do here, right, is we check the item table, right, and if it equals the item type, we're going to have to split this off, right, because we're going to need like a show all type thing, and then the item type one. So we're going to pass another variable. So we could do that just now, right? We could do that, right, and we can say get another variable here, add it in, right, and just say show all, right, set that as a bool, right, and then when we call this, this is going to be our default, right, our default for this is going to be true. So when we call it for the first time, we're going to say show all true. We're not going to match against the item type. Okay. Right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a widget, right? And this is where it might get interesting, but anyway. We're going to say craft an item. Yeah, my wife's in the kitchen making some weird thing that I won't be eating, that's for sure. Right, so what we need here is this to branch, okay? Oops. Don't know why it does that, but anyway. Oh, and normally, right, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do this, and this is going to have to come first, right? She'd already done the dishes, I think. She was actually making, I don't know what it is, right? ¿Cómo se llama, mi amor?
¿Qué?
Cosa para comer.
¿Esta?
Sí,
Jícama.
jicama. Okay. Okay, did you hear that, guys? It's jicama. Whatever the hell that is. Right, it's certainly not Scottish. Right, so we're going to go in there and we're going to do the same thing. Okay? And the next thing we're going to do is we've got our item, okay? But we actually do need one more thing out of this, and it's going to be our image. In fact, we're going to need another thing. We're going to need the item name. Okay. And the thing here is, we're going to go into our crafting item now. Do in there. Crafting item. And graph. Then we're going to say item image. That's going to be texture 2D. Then we're probably going to need a name. So item name, right? We're going to say instance editable expose on spawn. We're going to change this to be string instance editable and expose on spawn. Then I know I'm jumping about a bit here, but I want to show you this. Depends. I've got a video on it, quite abandoned, of why I don't personally use it yet, but it's really a suck it and see. Some people don't have any problems with it. I am not one of those people, but if you don't have any problems with it, then, you know, good on you. As I said, I don't get into arguments about this, it's up to you. The best idea is to try it yourself and find out what's the best one for you, basically. Right, so we're saving that. Right, and we'll just zip that up there. Now we are going to have to add this to something, right? So in our crafting main, we're going to have to add a section where we can add this in, okay? And it's going to have to be like a right, so go back into crafting main, into designer. Right, this button is basically going to go away. Okay. So we're going to kill that. Then we're going to go to our inventory main, hopefully, if we've got it open. Which we haven't, which is bleeding typical, but that's okay, we can deal with that. So we can go into inventory main, I've done a little bit with Unity, it's not that bad, but it just depends, you know, it's the same again, right? With Unreal Engine 4.27 or whatever version you want, it's the same argument with Unity or Unreal Engine. It's whichever one you're comfortable with, really. Right, so what we're going to do is basically copy that scroll box, right? And then we're going to wrap it with a canvas panel. Right? So, well, if that's what you use, then that's what you use. It's, you know, I'm not going to hold it against you. If at the end of the day it results in a game, then that's job done, really. Right. So in here, we're going to paste. Okay. That gives us a nice box. We can bugger about with that later. We've got text there. Inventory slots. Right, and what we really want to do here is go to our string table and type something in, right? So we can say items available to craft. Okay. And then in game. There we go. Okay. And we've got GP inventory slots. Oh, that's not what we wanted to do. We're going to rename this to crafting slots. Okay. A lot of people just lurk in the background. I mean, when I'm in a live discussion, it really depends. Sometimes I'll comment, sometimes I won't. It just depends. Right, so in here, sorry, we need a couple of variables again. You'll be pleased to hear. Right, so that's going to go. Designer. Take a hell of a lot to offend somebody as old as me with words. Right. Yeah, maybe they just like the sound of my voice or something. So we're going to say full crafting grid. This is on begin play, right? So basically we're going to say show all. So we don't really care what this is, right? But that gets us into what we want to do here. And the other thing we want to do is probably... no, we don't need to do that. Can't think yet. We do need a couple of variables though. Right. So that's going to be call count. And it's going to be an integer. Right. And then we're going to duplicate that. And that's going to be row count. Right. We're going to save that. It's fine. It'd be nice if they hit subscribe, but I'm not going to complain if they don't. I appreciate them just being here. Right. So what we're going to do is we are going to get our GP crafting slots for a kickoff. And we are going to add child to grid. And we're going to do that, get. We're going to do that, get. Right, we're going to be doing the same thing here. I mean, in theory, we could actually just do this in one place, but anyway, we'll just write it like this first to test it, and then we'll tidy it up later if we need it. But right, and that's going to go there. Right, then we're going to say call count, get call count, then we're going to increment it. And if it's greater than, we'll go for 7. We're going to branch on that. Oh. Okay. We're going to duplicate that. Okay. We're going to get that. Then we're going to need a set for each. Right, so call count we're resetting to 0. So we don't actually need that. for this one, we need a +1. Now, if I remember rightly, that never really works right for some reason, so I'm just going to say +1 and then set it. Okay. That's going to go there. So put that there, put that there, put that there. And basically that can go in there. Then we're going to set it here, we're going to set this. These are both going to get set to 0. And we're going to do one more thing in here before we hook these up. We're going to get our crafting slots, get crafting slots, and we're going to clear children. Okay, so that each time we do this, it's going to clear it down first and then it's going to draw it again. Right, that's the behavior we want. Okay, put this in here. Drag this back just a little bit and join these up. And now we can start a little bit of a test. We have got an awful lot of data for our recipes, but we've got one, so it should work. Okay. So we do, however, need to go back to our test map. So before we do that, I'm going to save all, then maps and test map, and press play. You'll notice our HUD doesn't show anymore, right, but that's okay. And actually, it ain't working. Cool. Okay, so it ain't working, which means that we've broken it. Which is fine. Right, cause we need to make sure it hits here, which it obviously isn't doing, right? Right, so I'm going to do that as a breakpoint, and we'll see how far it's getting, and then we'll fix it. Right, so we did get there. Okay. And step over, step over. Oh, well, add a breakpoint. So step over, step over, step into, we have nothing. Now, is that empty or is that nothing? Okay. Call EMS action. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stop this for a second. I'm going to find out where this is actually being run. Right? Right, notice here, right? It's in the begin play, right? Right, if I take this out, will it run? Right, we're going to have to put it back in, but will it run? Right, the question now is, add a breakpoint there, and then this is the thing, well, we're going to hit that. We're not hitting it. Right. Whew. So we're breaking on something else. Don't we all love a bit of bug fixing on a Sunday night? Oh yes, we do. Right, so it is never getting to here. Right? So it's basically never hitting this. Right? It's never hitting this. So we press play, we hit that, step into, right, we move the camera, right, we step over that, we step over that, alright, we're going to add a breakpoint. Okay, we delay for 3 seconds. So we press play, we resume, right? This is where we resume again. And it's never getting to here. Right, wait a minute. Right. Clear widgets, right? Resume. Okay, we're getting all widgets to class. It's nothing. What? Right, I know what's going on. Alright. We're not actually doing the fade in. We're not doing this. Right? We had blocked this earlier. Right? Now, I can't remember where this was. Right, so it isn't actually that that's causing us a problem, I don't think. But we need this. So we'll do that, and we'll do that. Resume, and you'll notice this time we've got something. Thank you. Resume. and it's going to have to be earlier. Right, disable that, disable that, resume, and we're now enabling input, disable, right. So we're going to disable it there, disable there, disable there, and then this is going to go right at the start. Okay. I would say right about here. Okay. Disable that and go. Right. So now we can actually go over here and craft. Right, and we've got nothing, which is awesome, obviously. We're fine with that for now. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is come back here and basically check on this. Okay. Step over, step over. Step over. So we have got a row there. Okay. Ah. No, that's right. That should be 15. Step over. Right. And this is actually the wrong way round. If we're going to show all, it should come down this way and not that way. Right, I'll fix the compass thing in a minute. So that should be not. Okay. So step over, over, down to there, and resume. Ta-da! We have something. It's not what we expected. Oh yeah, actually it is. Actually it is. I'll tell you why. It's because if we go into here, we look at 15. Well, we do have a mesh, and it's a sword, as usual. Right? Let's go food. We'll just use that one, right? Save that. And it's because I haven't actually set this up. That's the inventory slot. The crafting item. We actually haven't set it up. Right? Because we're silly. Right? So we're going to get that. Then is it? We need to button item. Right, what we actually need to do here is set it's like it's not that, it's not that, right? Set style, right? And then we need to make the button style. Then we split that, split that. Alright, we don't do that. We don't do that. Right. And let's say 64 by 64, right? And we just stick the image in there. Right, and we just basically, we're not going to highlight it or anything yet. We just want it to be basically a button. So a button sounds good. Right. Craft. Right. We know that works. Resume. And there we have it. We have our lovely button. Isn't that great? So that's coming from our recipes table, which is then joining it onto the Interactables main data table to get the image. Okay? The one is from the inventory slot. We can obviously change that. Our size of our button isn't quite right, but we can fix it. Right? We can sort that out later. But anyway, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, hit like and subscribe. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 2 PM. I'm going to fix up these little errors we've got. And I hope to see you there, guys. Check out the description for links to the game's Discord, which you're welcome to join, as well as my personal Discord, my Patreon, and finally my previous game on Steam, which is available for $1. So thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for commenting and keeping it interesting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.